quarantine is raising eyebrows and some concerns. What list could possibly include Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai and Kendall and Kylie Jenner?
You might think, in fact, that we want to snog you in spite of your political views.
Russell Brand was charming Nicolle on The View yesterday. But did her husband find it charming when she got home?
Hey, I love you.
I love you too.
Laverne Cox is telling you if we can expect any big changes on the new season of Orange is the New Black.
What?
And teaching you about the T-word. Meghan McCain reveals why she's not thrilled about her upcoming TV interview with her dad. With your hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Nicolle Wallace, Rosie Perez, and Rosie O'Donnell. It all starts now on The View.
Welcome to The View, y'all. Welcome to The View. Why, you look all so nice.
So do you. Look at these shoes.
I'm kind of clean today. I'm very clean today. I'm sorry. I just noticed, you know, there's all kind of color and stuff. It's bad. Look at that. No. Well, but we have something to tell you, but we'll tell you after this. Hey, you know, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, you know, she's the doctor from NBC, and she was sort of caught out. Yeah. She's been exposed to Ebola by her cameraman, and she was put in quarantine, and she went out looking for hot soup or something. And people have lost their minds about this. And she says, you know, as a health professional, I know that we have no symptoms and pose no risk to the public, but I'm deeply sorry for concerns this episode has caused. Is that enough for you?
I don't think it's going to be enough considering her role. Yeah. She is NBC's on-air medical expert. She has an obligation to set an example. So if the quarantine that everybody else has to follow is 21 days, period, end of story, then the quarantine that she has to follow should be the same. So that's where I think, I know Nancy, I like her a lot, but yeah. I think that she made this worse for herself.
I think, I'm sorry, 21 days, everybody's supposed to be quarantined. That includes you.
Yeah.
And I know you don't have symptoms yet, but the 21 days isn't up yet. I want to see you out looking for soup. I'll take you for soup. The 21 days. Right. We'll all take you out.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll all take you out after the 21 days are done, baby.
It was fun, kind of a crappy apology, too.
Yeah.
You know, when you apologize, like she should have said, yep, totally messed up, guilty, sorry, kind of an ass. You know, she should have said that because... What, is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you gave me a look. But I didn't, you know, I thought it was kind of a, you know, in the middle, not really taking full responsibility kind of.
It's a crappy, it was very crappy. It was a crappy apology.
Yeah.
At least she apologized.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, a day late, a dollar short.
Hey, which is one of the movies I've done, which you can see on Lifetime on demand.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
From the book by Terry McMillan, just saying. No, but I mean, it's just, yes, she apologized, but you know, I don't know that that's your right. When they say 21 days because of what they know, you don't get to say, well, I don't have any symptoms yet, because the people didn't have symptoms until they had them.
Well, the other problem is she had an opportunity to be the example and then to come back on television after 21 days and talk about how she, even knowing, because she's a doctor, and Dr. Besser said this too, that he took his temperature, he knew he was asymptomatic and therefore not contagious. She's missed a wonderful opportunity to be a spokesperson in this country and say, I quarantined myself out of an abundance of caution. You do the same. She doesn't get to say that now.
Now she doesn't. It's crazy. And you know, a lot of people are very angry that Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai, oh my God, I knew I was going to mess this up. Yousafzai, good God.
We love her.
I love her. I can say Malala, she knows that, I know that. And Malaya and Sasha Obama and Kendall and Kylie Jenner all made Time magazine's list of the most influential teens. But people are losing their minds because the Jenner girls are included. I mean...
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They did say most influential.
Yes.
They didn't say the most world-affecting, positive, smartest, what have you. They said most influential. And you know what? Why are they the most influential? That's not their fault, per se. It is the public's fault. They are the ones that are giving them the attention. That said, they are really busy young women.
Yeah.
They work really, really, really hard.
They have their own, I mean... They influence young people's style. They influence the things that young people are interested in. And this is all about teens. And I don't remember them killing anybody. I don't remember them saying anything that was untoward. Now, maybe you don't like their sisters. I understand that. Maybe that's... No, I understand. Most adults, they don't like the idea that these guys have made so much money from seemingly nowhere. You know, I know that because I've been on this damn show long enough to hear people bitch about these girls all the time. But the teenage girls, they got shoes, they're doing handbags, and they're working for a living. I don't know why that's a bad thing.
I think a lot of people feel like if their last name wasn't Kardashian, they wouldn't have all these business opportunities.
Well,
I'm sure there are women their age who probably have ideas for apps.
Their last name is not Kardashian. Their last name is Jenner.
That's
and
right.
maybe they would have. Their dad was
This is how little I know. So they're half-sisters.
Yeah, they're half-sisters. I guess, yeah. I don't know that much.
Chloe.
A lot,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you know, I am really Kardashian Jenner illiterate. I've never seen the show.
No, neither.
And the only thing I know is that, you know, one is married to Kanye. And
Kim.
Right. And
Quiz me. Bring it.
okay. And
I've
the
been
other,
studying.
what I think is the beautiful one is
Chloe.
Yes, is not, I think,
Divorced or
the
separated?
basketball.
Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah.
You win. You win.
See, now, here's the really frightening part. You guys know much more than I do.
See?
I
Me
have
too.
no idea who was married to who, but I just think that the girls...
And now they're the
girls are doing their things. Yeah, the girls are doing their thing.
I don't know
and
anything
it's
about
not
them.
bad.
That one of them is dating Will Smith's son. That's all I know.
You know.
He's on the list too,
I mean, it is easier for them to have the opportunities that they have. It is easier, but there are a lot of rich kids that are privy to great opportunities and don't take advantage.
And don't take advantage, yeah. So, you know, lighten up. Now, getting to you, because yesterday, I was going to say apparently, but I was here, so I know it's true. Yesterday, we had Russell Brand on.
Yes, we did.
And some people felt that he took a real shine to you, Nicolle.
Well, let me just say, what was happening on our side of the set was that it was shaking because she was laughing so hard at me because Russell Brand, for whatever else you think of him, has mastered the art of throwing you off balance by speaking at close range.
You mean a flirting?
I don't think he was flirting.
He was totally flirting with you.
flirting with you.
Look at that. Look at that. Love it. Love it.
No.
And look at you blushing.
Imagine if he was here today.
Oh, God.
You look gorgeous. You look beautiful.
What did your husband say? How was your husband?
So
Did he
my
think it
husband
was...
said, how was work today? I'm like, oh, this is great. Anything happened? I'm like, no, not really. And he said, how'd that Russell, because we were up late reading the book and watching the interviews on YouTube. And he said, you know, how'd the interview go? I'm like, it was good. He said, anything eventful? I said, he just wanted to kiss me. He's like, what? He's like, he might have kissed me. He said, on TV? I said, I really don't remember.
But you know what? Kudos to you the way you challenged him. I really appreciate it.
Well, you know what it is? Like, I think that when you have a platform, you ask people to do something, I don't think he's factored in that they might actually do everything he suggested. So if they do, and if they want to address the problems he raised, I didn't feel like he was prepared to give them the tools to do it. So that was the only...
Well, as he has said, there are people in the world more qualified than he to set up a new economic structure that does not enable the rich to oppress the poor.
Right.
But he does have the basic philosophy that he wants to share that I agree with, that many people think is wonderful. But he's not the guy who's going to, like, carry the plaque at the revolution. He's going to get everyone to show up, and then the smart people will lead.
Well, all people need to vote. And I mean, I think you're in America. America 5 weeks before an election that matters a whole lot. So when you're in America 5 weeks before an election, I think it's a dangerous message to tell people not to vote.
Yeah, the voting thing, I think too many people died so that a lot of people could. So voting for me is a big issue. But that's neither here nor there, because what I love is that her husband said, say what? And that made me happy. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Will karma come back to haunt the Microsoft CEO for his comments about...
Hey, welcome back. Rosie Perez has something to tell you.
Yes, it's a big event tonight in New York City at this art gallery, Art Beam Gallery here tonight. It is the Wata Drink Up campaign. This wonderful woman, Rose Cameron, she started this to help kids think responsibly in what they put into their bodies. And so they're encouraging kids to drink water instead of the sugary drinks.
Right. Michelle Obama's part of this effort,
and
right?
Michelle Obama is part of this effort. She totally supported it. And come on down to Art Beam tonight and take part, because this is a wonderful, wonderful project. And my husband, he painted that painting for Drink Up. Yes. My husband Hayes. And great artists are involved, like Kenny Sharp, all the wonderful street artists and contemporary artists, and it's going to be fantastic fun tonight. 7 p.m. Art Beam Gallery.
Love it, baby. So, speaking of wonderful things, you know, it seems the Vatican looks like it may be following the progressive views of Pope Francis and maybe even Jesus. A new... Call me crazy. A new preliminary report from the bishops calls for the church to welcome and accept gay people, saying that they have gifts and qualities to offer the Christian community. But they're still not condoning gay unions or marriage, so how big a shift is this? I think it's kind of seismic.
Yeah. It's
seismic.
Huge. It's big. It's not great.
No.
It's not perfect.
It's better.
But it's a start, and we'll take it.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right,
exactly
baby.
right.
That's right. You know?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's the first pope to ever use the word gay instead of homosexual.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I dig this guy.
I'm digging Franny. This dude is the best. This is my man, Franny. Oh, yeah. You know, Franny and I like him because he actually seems to have read the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Take care of the poor. You know?
And also, in the Bible, it says God is the one to judge.
That's
not
right.
us.
Nobody else, only God. But I love it, you know.
I think he seems to understand the threshold for change. He is bringing the Catholic Church further than it's come in my lifetime, but he's bringing them with him. And I think that if he were, I know that there's an appetite for him to push harder, but I think that he's doing it in a way that's going to be lasting.
Listen,
you know?
He said to people, listen, I know you've been married before, and maybe it didn't work out. You're human. You're like, we're all human. But that is no reason for us to tell you you're not welcome. God takes everybody. Right. As I always say, you know, Jesus had some interesting friends. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the divorce, yes. In the Catholic Church, you can attend Mass if you are divorced. You cannot receive communion, and that's the debate.
It makes no sense. You know, I was always taught that if you go to God and say, look, I know I'm messing up, but it's me and you know me and I know you and we're cool. That's the only person I have to clear anything with. You know I'm human. You made me. You know I was going to make a mistake. You know that. But no one has the right to turn you away from God and tell you you're bad. Nobody has that right. That's not what they do. But,
Do you think that having him as a pope now will make the Catholic, I mean, you all are sort of, correct to say, disenchanted Catholics?
Recovering Catholics.
Do you think that young people will be more drawn to the church because of this pope?
Well, I think he's the first pope in my lifetime that I can remember having profound respect for. The way that he's dealt with all of the issues that he's faced with, the way that he rejects the excess of the Vatican and all of those elaborate things that don't really represent Jesus and the pious way in which he lived. So he's the first pope that I've actually
I keep forgetting how old you guys are. I keep forgetting. Because you keep saying in my lifetime, and I'm thinking, how come they don't know about John the 23rd? They weren't born yet. I'm sorry. There you go. How about this? A New Hampshire lawmaker, Steve Villancourt, claims a local Democrat will probably lose her re-election race because she is, quote, wait for it, ugly as sin and looks madder in politics. This is the woman he's talking about. Do we have his shot? Do we have his picture?
Oh, look at
It looks like Rob Ford's, you know.
Actually, he looks like a bulldog. And I'm saying bad things about bulldogs because I love bulldogs. That what is, you know, you don't have, honey. Look in the mirror, baby. Okay.
Judging people's appearance prevents the good ones from doing great jobs, you know, and I think that it's wrong.
Well, the other problem we have in our politics is people are so turned off by our politics. People could barely stand to listen to the important debates because they don't like the people having them. So when they have another example of something distasteful, I mean, you wouldn't let your kids talk about their classmates like this, yet we have a politician.
Anybody remember anyone talking about an ugly male politician?
Never.
Ever?
Never.
Ever.
Ever.
Or
It's
a fat
just
one. Or never.
Well, no, we had no.
Well,
We have talked about because I want to say Rutherford B. Hayes. I mean, when you look at the stuff that they
had to talk about his
Chris
weight.
has had to talk about it, but I mean, just in terms of looks, male politicians have never been. No woman has put another guy down because he looked funny, but with women, they feel that that's the first place you can go. And times are changing, honey. You can't do it anymore. We're not putting up with it. We'll be back with more Hot Topics.
Meghan McCain is telling you what's stressing her out more, turning 30 or her upcoming TV interview. We want to hear your view. Follow us on Twitter to join the conversation and go behind the scenes before, during, and after the show. Find us at The View TV.
There's so many. That is crazy. Hey, so welcome back. Now, this might warm the cockles of people's heart. I don't know. The other day, you might have heard that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said that basically, if you... Well, I'm going to just show you a clip. I can't even explain it. Say it. Just show it.
It's not really about asking for the raise, but knowing and having faith that the system will actually give you the right raises as you go along. And that, I think, might be one of the additional superpowers that, quite frankly, women who don't ask for a raise have. Because that's good karma. It'll come back.
Whoa. Can I jump in here? Can I say something about the system that he trusts so implicitly?
Sure.
The system allows men to negotiate 57% of the time for a higher salary. You know how often women negotiate in the system for a higher salary? 7%.
Is that good karma?
That's not good karma.
No, I don't
And let me
think so.
tell you something. Women that leave their careers up to karma are usually screwed. Women have to ask for everything they get in the workplace. I think they have to ask for it. I think they have to fight for it. And I think there are lots of studies. Katty Kay and Claire Shipman wrote a book last year. Women will wait longer, will be more qualified before they even go in and ask for a promotion or a raise. Men who haven't come anywhere close to being qualified for a promotion, they go walking right in. So this is hardwired, and this is crazy. I hope no woman listens to him.
No, and apparently he says
back. Yeah,
he's back.
Sorry, I'm all riled up, but he's walked it back.
But he also said that he got that. This is a piece of information he got from a female CEO.
Who
That's
probably
what he's
works
saying.
for him, or with him.
Yeah.
So that is not an excuse. And that wasn't an offhand comment. That was a long little
But
sermon.
here's the thing. Here's how I think of it. And call me crazy.
Crazy.
That's like, call me crazy again.
Crazy, crazy.
Okay.
That's like black people saying, oh no, we'll just wait on slavery. We're not gonna, we're gonna trust the system. No, that's nuts, man. Stick to the computer. I think sometimes people should not speak out loud, even though they're CEOs. They should not talk because it's bad for the system. But you know, you always hear people saying, I'm just not a math person, but apparently, according to some, that's just not true. 2 math professors say math skills have nothing to do with inborn talent or genetics. It all comes down to hard work and confidence.
I don't believe it.
No, you know, as a dyslexic who has fought her whole life to understand math concepts. Some people, they don't. And it's not because they're not working hard. That's excuses that people used to use years ago. And I'm shocked that you're using that BS.
Well,
you
I
know?
need to disagree with you slightly.
You can, but are you just, I just want to ask, do you have any learning disabilities?
No, I do not.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is, you're correct in regards to people who have learning disabilities. But what the issue is that people have made that a blanket statement for all. And there's the danger. There's where the danger lies. When you tell a child who doesn't have a learning disability that they're just not good at math because they didn't test well 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you hold them back from the potential of being better at it. And it's just important, Whoopi. It really is important. And for them to get the statistics correct and not make generalizations. Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
Technology is taking over. It has taken over. And what are you going to do is you're going to hold these kids back from getting the proper jobs. Silicon Valley, Mark Zuckerberg,
I'm sorry,
math,
baby. Right now, you can get on your computer, you have so much information to tell you how numbers and division goes and all these kinds of things. I think they're really talking about this idea that some people don't feel comfortable doing it and feel that they're not good at it. I don't think any parent, and maybe I'm crazy, but I think most parents, if the child is not doing well in math in school, they say, well, maybe that's not your strongest suit. I don't think any parent wants to hold their kid back, but the blanket statement that they're making, which is saying that everybody,
there is room to increase the potential.
Yes.
There is room for children's IQ level to be increased.
Absolutely.
And so it's just dangerous. And the thing is that people who are good at math should not be held back in any kind of way, or can be potentially good at math. So I agree with you, yes, but it's a dangerous statement.
You know, my dad was an electrical engineer. He designed like spy satellites. You know, he always used to tell us when I was in 3rd grade, Russia can read our license plate. Thanks, Dad. Anyway, I could not do math. I still cannot do math. I have a math something issue in my head. And he would yell at me. He would scream at me, what are you talking about, Roseanne? 2A over 3B equals what? And I'm like, I don't know! You know, 3AB. He thought I was being belligerent, but I really wasn't.
Yes, and it goes back to teaching. It goes back to the teaching. It goes back to the teaching.
But I'm afraid of I'm afraid sometimes of these, what do you call we didn't have them in school. What is the thing? The calculators. No, the calculators.
They're all on the iPhone now.
One of the things I used to love as a kid was going into Jade Shopwell, which was the supermarket in my neighborhood, and watching those women. And they could, I mean, they knew to the penny what was going on. And I thought to myself, boy, it would be really, I'd love to be able to do that. But it scares me when I see kids figuring stuff only on the calculator and not being able to do it. But that is not Rosie's issue. She will never have that issue because she has great surprises and wonderful things with her kids.
But none of it has to do with math.
No.
So Carl, one of the guys who works here, a great guy, Carl, he was telling me about a Frozen doll, and I said, oh, I gotta have to get that for my baby. And he brought me one, and I brought it home, and I taped the baby watching the, look, this is the baby and a doll.
I'm Princess Elsa now. I can do snow magic. Wanna see?
Where's Olaf? Do you see him? Yeah. You want me to open it for you?
Okay.
Okay.
And I just love that little, that excitement, overwhelmed. She just had to do that, squeeze her
But I
body.
also like her discovery that there is a barrier. Can't get to Olaf.
Behind bars.
We're gonna go, but we're coming back with the fabulous Laverne Cox.
The new black star Laverne Cox talks about her mission to teach you
I'd like to report an emergency.
Laverne Cox is one of the breakout stars of the hit show Orange is the New Black, and she continues to make history through a fascinating new MTV and Logo TV documentary, The T Word. Please welcome back to the show, Laverne Cox.
I'm good. I'm exhausted.
Why are you exhausted?
I'm working very, very hard these days, but I'm excited to be here. Hi, I love the new setup.
Isn't it nice?
It looks good.
Yeah.
Everyone looks good today.
Everyone does.
And so do you. And this is a huge year, an Emmy nomination. I just watched the documentary. It's incredible.
Thank you
Covers
so
of magazines, Essence Magazine, and others. What's the life change like?
I sleep a lot less,
Right.
and self-care has become really, really important. I've been so blessed this year to have a lot of opportunities, and I want to take as many as possible.
Right. Like you don't want to pass them up.
I don't want to pass them up, but I need to figure out how to sleep and to relax.
Right.
And I've waited a really long time to have this moment in my career, so I want to, make the most of it. So really, self-care has been really important, learning how to relax, and I don't really know how to do that very well.
Yeah.
Me either. We all got to know you from Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Were you acting before then?
Absolutely. I did my first movie, I want to say like 15 years ago.
Really?
My first independent film. And so I've been drudging away at acting for many, many years, doing whatever I could do, independent films and off Broadway theater for years, and continuing to train. I've had amazing teachers, and this job came along and has changed my life.
And how was the audition process? What was that like?
It was really quick. It was one audition that I did 2 scenes, no callback, which was amazing. Callbacks are very stressful. And they cast me from the first tape.
Did they know that you had an identical twin brother?
They did not, but Gingy Cohen had there was apparently a running joke in the writer's room. We need to hire someone trans to play this role, and ideally they will have an identical twin brother. They had no idea.
That you really did.
Sometimes when you ask the universe for what you want,
it delivers.
Not sometimes, I think always, right?
Amen.
Can we show the magazine covers, because they're amazing, and I think we have them here. We brought them. There you go.
That's
there you go.
not so bad.
Not so bad.
Cover
That is
of time.
hot. That is super hot.
Now,
Can I ask, the documentary is so moving to me. Can you talk about the T word? Can you talk about that? And I know this is not a new issue for you. Travel around the country, you go to college campuses.
Yeah.
You've really lended your voice and lended a voice to this community that is either not spoken for or not understood. Can you talk about making the movie and everything?
So the T Word, Laverne Cox Presents The T Word, is a documentary. The T is what the T in the LGBT community stands for. It means transgender, or trans for short. I like trans. And trans, but T also for a lot of trans people means truth. And when you hear that expression, what's the T, or telling my T, trans folks started that, by the way. And it's really for truth. And we look at 7 young people from the ages of 12 to 24. 2 of them are here today.
in the front row, looking beautiful, as always. I was very moved by the documentary. You made me cry, as I told you before. Very beautiful family support in nearly all of the cases. What was your family like for you when you went through this?
My family, it was tricky. When one of the young women in the documentary, her name's Zoe. She's 13 years old. She's Latina, 13-year-old Latina girl, and her mother is so amazing.
Unbelievable.
I think about when I was 12 years old, if my mother was that supportive of me, and I sort of had words for what I was, my life would have been so different. I was majorly bullied, and a lot of the kids in this documentary have experienced that: homelessness, violence, police profiling. So we get into all of these issues. I really wanted to create representations of trans people that move beyond transition and bodies and surgery, to really look at the lived experiences, and that's what we're doing here.
Well, I thought with that family, I thought that mom spoke for all moms. I thought that was advice for how to raise your kids. She talked about how you'd keep getting stronger as you grew older and more confident. I mean, that's universal, right?
Absolutely.
But some of the families I didn't think were as loving and accepting, and
Well, Kai's mom,
broke my heart.
Kai is he's an amazing, dynamic, 24-year-old trans guy, and his mom's Jehovah's Witness, and she she reminds me a lot of my mom in terms of having difficulty with pronouns. Pronouns matter when we talk with and about trans people, by the way. She had so much, she's having difficulty with that, and they get into it in the doc.
Yeah, and Cher had difficulty as well with Chaz.
Absolutely,
and she did express her own way, the mother in the documentary. Well, you are my daughter. it's hard for me to see you as my son. And
but
and
it's deeply, deeply painful for us to be called the wrong pronoun when we know who we are. Interestingly enough, we have a live forum right after the doc premieres this Friday at 7 p.m. on MTV in Logo. Right afterwards, we have a live forum, and Kai and his mom are going to be there.
Well, I can't wait. And you also are starring in a guest episode in Faking It. What's that?
As daughter of Senator John McCain, this woman was practically born into politics, and she's bringing a whole lot of life to the party on her show, Take Part Live. Please welcome Meghan McCain. Nice to meet you. You are just wonderful, and I love your show. And you're about to celebrate your 30th.
I'm turning 30. It's so crazy, and I actually love turning 30 because I've never felt stronger and smarter. And my 20s, I'm glad I don't have to do that again.
Right.
I just wish society would stop acting like women start expiring at 30. It's so ridiculous.
Crazy.
I've never felt cooler, more interesting. And, I don't know. I just wish we would celebrate age more.
Now, honey, your dad, John McCain, is supposed to be a guest on your show, Take Part Live. Is that?
My bookers did this without asking me. They emailed his office without asking me, and now I have to interview my dad. It's an impossible thing to do, to interview family members. I love my father very much, but how do you not make it cheesy? How do I ask my father anything that he hasn't been asked before? I'm freaking out. I have to do it in a week. I will tell you how it goes.
So would it be okay if I said, Meghan, you in danger, girl?
Commercial break wanted you to say, Molly, you're in danger, girl. You just made his life and mine, so thank you.
Talking about being in danger, I heard that you had an issue with the Secret Service.
Yes, you know, all these issues that are coming out about the Secret Service. Our president was in an elevator with a man with a gun. A man with a knife jumped over the White House, made it into the West Wing, or East Wing, excuse me. There's obviously a cultural problem with the Secret Service, and I just was asked what my experience with the Secret Service was, and it was horrible. They were very gossipy, very cliquey.
Really?
I had a very bad experience. I know everyone's shocked by this, and everyone, please lay off my Twitter feed. I'm just being honest, and I think there's a cultural problem.
Back up.
Thank you. But I think we need to have better people in line to protect our president.
Oh my goodness, you are spilling the tea, darling.
You ask me, I'll tell you what I feel.
Well, I want to ask you about this because...
Think about it. If anything, God forbid, were to happen to our president or his family, it would be one of the more horrific tragedies in American history. I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's funny, and I'm glad that the head stepped down.
I'm so glad, too. And what about this? Because I know that this is one of your films. You feel there's a double standard for women in media and in politics.
Completely.
Explain, please. I love hearing you talk about this.
You know, just being a woman, I think there's a triple standard. When you're watching my co-hosts on my show, you're not thinking about what they wear. My dresses, my makeup, my hair is critiqued. What I'm saying, if you're too strong of a woman, you're too opinionated, people are going to criticize that. I don't know what it means to be a woman anymore, other than I'm just trying to do my best. And it's an impossible thing for women right now. You know, we were just talking about earlier, the CEO saying that women shouldn't ask for raises. I always say when I'm being aggressive, I'm being demanding because I'm a woman, but when a man does it, he's being a man.
So what do you think about Hillary Clinton? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, baby.
So what do you think about Hillary Clinton? Do you think she's going to run, and do you think she's going to...
I think that's our next nominee for president. I think Republicans better step up with a good nominee because she's still a force to be reckoned with.
Well,
I'm not saying it's a done deal.
One of the great voices of sanity to me in your party is you.
Oh, thank
because
you,
I feel like you have a finger on the pulse of what young people are looking at and what needs to happen.
Thank you.
So when you say that, do you see a nominee for the Republican Party in the wind? Do you see anybody anywhere?
Jeb Bush, if he decides to run, would be a very formidable candidate, although I don't know a Bush-Clinton White House with this sort of American dynasty. It might be too complicated for the American public. I don't know, other than that, I have to see more of people. I don't see Rand Paul making it as far as people are speculating. I think he's a little too libertarian. But I think, you know, nothing in politics is done until it's done. Anybody could be our nominee.
That's true. That's true. Could be Elmo for all we know.
I think you're wonderful, and I hope everybody tunes in because you are smart and incredible. Our thanks to Meghan McCain. Take Part Live is weeknights on Pivot. We will be right back.
Please watch.
Yes, tonight, the WATA campaign, Take Back the Streets, will be at Art Beam Gallery on West 21st Street in the city tonight, 7 p.m.
That's
there
right.
You go.
Everybody, have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy your